renovation company, so I kind of grew up in people's houses, you know, for a living. I kind of always liked driving around all day, basically, I think is what it is, up to the tune of about 50,000 miles a year. So in 1991, I was up in the parking lot after high school. There was a guy there handing out flyers, and I'll never forget, it said $6. $6 an hour! I thought it was like hitting the lottery, because back then minimum wage was like $3.85, and so I started walking door to door we were literally a desk and a fax machine behind a curtain in his mom and dad's basement in Twin Brook. So the company's kind of evolved. Last year we broke 10 million for the first time. We have 3 stores here locally and 42 employees. I did leave. I went to college. I went to East Carolina on a swimming scholarship. It lasted 1 year. I hated it. Was never going to go to the Olympics. And then I proceeded to go out to University of Arizona. It was summer between junior and senior year, and my grandfather died, and I came back and stuck my head in the office, and they said, "We need you. It's exploding. Here's an offer to be, you know, one of the owners, and you've been here since the beginning, and we need you." So that's basically how it happened. I never saw another classroom until it was to better my knowledge in the industry. I had a easy time transitioning back. I cried all the way to El Paso when I drove back from Tucson, but
most people do cry in El Paso.
It was good to be, I mean, this is like in 1994, you know what I mean? So anyway, so you know, we have an A rating on Angie's List. We have 0 complaints ever against us. We have we've been in the Washingtonian Consumer Checkbook for since 1999, with we've held our over 90% customer satisfaction the entire time. And really, when we got started, there's a window factory in Laurel, and we were using them. We were just selling the job and sending them to them, and then going back and collecting a check. So the factory was installing it, and we were really just more of a marketing company, is what we were. And then in 1994. We started getting like referrals. Well, what's a referral? And letters of recommendation. So the gentleman's name is Voldick. We call him V just because of English corruption. But we stole the guy from the factory, and he's been here with us ever since. Okay, so my lead installer has been, you know, 17 years with us, and he's 52. So hopefully he'll hang in there another couple of years with us. But 1999, we stole our second crew from Pella. If anybody knows Pella Windows. Over in Falls Church, they were installing for KC Company, who owns the rights to build the Pella windows around here. So we know exactly who's going to show up. We don't subcontract the work. The guys come. It's our tools, our trucks, our insurance. There's no subcontracting involved, and it costs a little bit more to do business that way, but it does make you a little bit more reliable too. So what I do when I go into people's houses, I'm real laid back. I try to make people laugh and stuff like that, but I show everybody 2 windows. Okay, our thing is offer a choice. There is no world's greatest window. There's kind of Marta came into the showroom and we walked around for about an hour, and she was asking about the different materials and things like that. Vinyl is going to be your most cost effective. It's also going to be the most energy efficient. Okay, fiberglass windows are more expensive. The frames are mechanical, so they're going to leak air, but they are paintable. So it's kind of a nice thing, because it's between vinyl and wood. There's a huge price difference. Okay, so the fiberglass really fills that gap. The problem with fiberglass is the only guy I can find on the internet that's actually recycling it right now at the end of its longevity. He's making trash cans out of it, and it is possible to make fiberglass out of recycled glass. Okay, they pulverize it and crush the glass back into a powder, but it actually costs more to do that. We all know what wood windows, knocking down the trees and all that does for the environment. So even though the manufacturing process of vinyl has gotten a bad rap over the years because it's a chloride petroleum reaction and it off-gases, and so you had people in factories getting lung disease and such, and so it took a long time to get it to the point where people said, oh, well, vinyl windows aren't really a bad thing. And then at the end of its shelf life, you know, 35, 40 years from now, whenever, it's fully recyclable. Okay? Now, with that being said, they do make vinyl windows out of recycled material, and that's a bad thing. When they recycle vinyl, they bleach it, because what happens is vinyl needs to be elastic to take the sun's UV rays. And when it's recycled, you know, buckets are orange and ketchup bottles are red, and they grind it up, and then they melt it down. They get like, it's like a gray goop, and then they have to bleach the dyes out of it and then re-dye it white. So That window, have you ever seen a PVC pipe that like lays in the yard, you know, it turns like yellow, you can snap it over your knee. I mean, it's the same thing. The window when you go to Home Depot and you look at the American Craftsman window that they sell there, that's a recycled vinyl. It's actually made by a Silverline. And then Home Depot renames it. And it's probably, I would say it's a 10 to 15, maybe 20 years if you take real good care of a window. So there's 440 window manufacturers in the country right now. Back in 2006, there was over 600. Okay, so the economy has gotten a lot of these guys that grew too quick. The first window I show everybody is Vitex. They've been building them since 1983, I believe. They're in Laurel, Maryland, and I love to show the sample. It's really dirty and banged up, but it's literally been opened probably more times than the windows in your